Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're checking out Insert Title Here, an experimental game by Anothink. So, as far as I know, this is a very strange, very unorthodox approach towards the whole first-person exploration genre. I'm not sure if exploration really is the thing here, but this is going to put us in a whole bunch of different states, psychologically speaking. And it's going to sort of toy with us a little bit, perhaps, and we're going to see what we do and how we react, and it might be a little wacky, it might be a lot of fun. So that's what I'm hoping anyway. Our first impressions here, though, we've got a very blurry, dithered-looking hallway with some, ragtime piano playing in the background. I'm told this is a very loud game, so I turned the sound down quite a ways. And you'll hear when we start the experiment that there's a pretty loud announcer that's going to be blaring in our ears a little bit. So hopefully it doesn't get too much crazier than that. Thing before I start, though, I don't know if this is everyone's case here when they start this game up, but I haven't been able to get the mouse cursor to actually be captured by the program, and I turned it off in Fraps so you don't see the mouse, but it's just bouncing around on my side, which I find incredibly annoying, but at the same time maybe it's required because I have to click on things in the environment. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, I guess this menu here, it's kind of a menu. It says start the experiment, leave the experiment, and I can click on one of them, I guess.
Welcome to the experiment.
So here we are.
You may not be accustomed to what you're about to see. Feel calm and explore.
Alright, I'm going to feel calm, and I'm going to explore, and I'm going to follow directions. So, welcome to an experiment. This is an experiment to see the reactions of hundreds and hundreds of people on moral, psychological, or absurd issues. Seems fair. Insert title here, subject 000001. The unnamed experiment. We can only look up at, I don't know what degree this is, but a pretty low degree angle, which is a little different. To play this game correctly, you will need a game recorder and a microphone. Check. Share your opinions, decisions, and reactions. Check. So far, I'm doing really well. Enjoy this experimental, quote, thing. I call it a thing because I'm not sure if it's a game or whatever. I know I didn't read that exactly the way it was written, but you know. Alright, so a camera recording a camera creates an infinite loop. That's something, right? We can jump. Don't worry, you're not going to break any bone. That's the game logic. I don't want to break any bone at all. Instead of jumping, though, I'm going to actually face this way and fall. Alright. So now we're in a room made of crumbled paper. Or crumpled paper, I should say. Did you scream something like, whew? No, I didn't do that. That's not a nice thing to say. I know what you're all thinking right now. What the hell am I playing? Why are posters insulting me? Oh, this was just an experiment. I'm not sure the thing is a game. Let's call it a weird thing. This experiment will study your reactions. That's why we need your voice. Let's proceed with something with you. So at this point, I'm starting to wonder, to what level of absurdity are we going to get here? I'm not sure that you can return back except restarting the game. And how do we restart the game? Because there doesn't appear to be any kind of menu. And what's up with those flower chandeliers? They're surprisingly detailed compared to everything else in the game. Or in the weird thing, or whatever we're calling it. Alright, so we're leaving crumpled paper land, and now we've got candy cane striped bench area. There doesn't seem to appear to be any collision with these objects, so I can actually just walk right through them. And incredibly super dithered JPEG wall made out of that, royal crest pattern. We've got another chandelier. Chandeliers are a very important element, and of course cameras, too. Not sure what that camera's doing. It doesn't appear to be looking at me. I don't know. So we can choose to be male or female. Looking at these two options, I'm going to mess with the game a little bit. Now I'm going to be female and just mess everything up. Sorry, but you have to be a male to play this game. You know, these sexist jokes and more. I don't care. Okay. When I say no, I say no. Seriously? That's really what we're doing. Alright, so here's the thing. We don't have a way of getting out of the game effectively. As far as I could tell, I've hit escape before and the game just doesn't do anything. So unless there's a hidden menu that I'm not aware of, I'm going to have to actually go to the process manager and kill the game, or, you know, right click on it in my start menu and go to close. So this is not really a very cool way to go as a game developer, to like make sexist jokes and insult players who just wanted to pick this option that you gave us. I understand it's an experiment, and I'm actually kind of feeding into exactly the reaction you probably wanted by making this happen, so I guess I'm feeding the troll, in which case today the troll might be the game developer, and I guess you win. So I guess I will meet you after the cut. Alright, so we're back, and we are going to be male this time, because we've learned our lesson apparently. Hello, boy. Maybe you're a girl and saw that to play this game you had to be a boy, and now you're lying to me. Lying is bad. Surely turn back to see that I was right. Am I wrong? Maybe, yeah. Well, I was already there, so actually, no. Your assumptions are mistaken. See, this is actually kind of interesting. You can make all these judgments on what the game developer was planning by the fact that they assumed that I would go in the male door because I wanted to listen and be truthful. And, you know, I could actually have been female, in which case, whatever, this is a stupid tangent. Let's just go. You understand what I'm trying to say. This room is creepy, isn't it? Well, that elevator music on the background doesn't fit with this room. I don't really find it that creepy, honestly. I mean, I find it strange, perhaps, but I'm reading this more as candy cane stripes than anything creepy. Tip left click on the door to open it. I will fix that later. Let's change the room.
Do you like this one? It's strange, isn't it?
It's okay. Yes, the door is gone. Yeah, okay. It's not that strange. I mean, it's got a checkerboard and it's slanted. But I've seen stranger things.
This is the drug room. Trippy as hell.
Yeah, this is pretty trippy. Okay, I'll give you that one. So a strange effect now is that the speed with which my POV is moving is not the same as the speed that my mouse is moving on the screen. So now in order to click on things, I have to like do it from the corner of the screen. I'm pretty sure I can't click on this door anyway, but it's just very strange, the whole thing. It's it almost seems like the game is trying to be frustrating, which is possibly true, or likely true. And I guess that's fine. I don't think that the right way to do that, in my opinion anyway, is to frustrate the player through intentionally weird or frustrating design choices. And insulting them is probably not good either, but, you know, whatever. I understand we're pushing boundaries here.
As you can see, this experiment is full of many rooms. You will like ones
And
more
many
than
of them
others.
have red and white stripes. As you can see, this experiment is full of... Oh, I read that. Or I heard that a second ago. Oh, wow, there's actually... is this, I guess, a watermark from somebody's stock photography that they took this texture from? I'm noticing also it's like the wall texture on the right is not the same. Whatever, it doesn't matter. You'll like some rooms more than others, apparently. It'd be kind of cool if there was a little bit more connectivity.
Don't worry.
Let's talk about the game. Insert title here. Do you like that name? Well, it's not even a name. No name better than a stupid name, right? I let you decide a name for this game. That's pretty original, isn't it? A game without a name that you can decide. Yeah. It's time to interact. Is this the same? Sure, you're getting bored with these texts. Well, I'm not the typical boring narrator. I can insult you and maybe you already hate me. I'm just text, that's all. Let's talk about me. I'm waiting for the time when I get to go back through one of these doors, but apparently I'm trying to break the game mechanics more than the game developer is. I don't know, this dialogue or monologue or whatever, this text stuff seems a little bit inane. not just very interesting. It just seems like it's focusing on just stupid stuff. Like, there's not even really... It's not trying to be evocative, it's just sort of being a jerk, to be a jerk. Here begins the real experiment. See you there. Alright,
Choose
well...
one of the following elevators.
Oh, this should be
Each one
good.
of them will take you to a different game genre.
Psychological game, horror game, or platform game. I'm gonna assume that we'll probably get to go through all of them, since what developer doesn't want to show off every asset that they've made for their game, or, as with that texture taken from somewhere. A door sound, and there's no door. Don't look for logic. A logic, this is just a game. Now, are the spelling and grammar mistakes also intentional to make me frustrated, or is that just the way it is? I understand if it's not the developer's, you know, English is not their first language, it's not a big deal, it's just... I can't tell, like, what's intentional and what's not with this type of thing. I don't know, which one do we want to do? Eeny, miny, you know, screw it. Let's do the psychological game first. I feel like we're doing bosses in Mega Man. Oh, I don't actually walk in, I just click on the door frame. So I thought I picked psychological, but it looks like maybe we're in horror. Although I guess that would be a psychological thing to do, wouldn't it? That is a PlayStation 3, I thought it was. That's the original toaster model, the George Foreman model that I have at home myself. Afraid of monsters? Well, can I click exit? Nope. That's more creepy than I figured it would be, honestly. Don't be scared. Well, I guess just the big departure from having these be like sort of blurry graphics to MS Paint scribbles now, it's like, it seems like that's a nice transition. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is scary. I mean, I could draw things too. Scratchy things with the pencil tool. Oh, this is interesting. Now we've got a little bit of a convergence of 2D and 3D happening at the same time. What's this? Oh, I found a hole in your level geometry, dude. It looks like I might be able to go out of it, too. Maybe? Hard to say. Maybe not. When everything is the same, you know, shade, it's kind of hard to tell. Oh, did I find a secret? I don't even know if there's secrets. There's probably not secret. Let's just stop trying to break the game. I'm just going to end up frustrating myself. Yeah, those two textures exist in the same place. That's what that is. Should probably line them up at the edges instead of overlapping them, but I don't know what I'm talking about, really. Alright, so there is a scratchy MS Paint monster that says press the square. I'm going to press the square.
Back to normal. Isn't that lovely? Please, click the button to continue.
I know that was short, but don't worry, okay? Back to normal again. Isn't that lovely? No. I'm actually kind of enjoying that strange departure. Okay, we're in a room full of cameras. Do you like being observed? I don't really feel like I am being observed. I feel like you use that model a lot of times, to be honest with you. I'm not so easily sold on these concepts, I'm sorry.
The blue pill or the red pill.
Oh, God.
Your decision will influence your way in the game. Choose well.
Oh, no. How many times is this going to come up? It looks like a silly Pokemon or something, like crab with silly eyes. I don't even remember. I never remember which is the one that makes you wake up and which is the one that makes you go further into the Matrix. Is the red one? You'd think it would be the red one because red is like conflict and blue is like tranquility. Let's take the red one.
I was kidding. This is not Matrix. It's just a weird experiment.
Okay.
Please, continue.
Psychological questions.
What would you do if you win $1 million instantly?
I'm wondering if this actually matters. I'm gonna pick the silver
What would you do
door.
if your best friend in the world is about to be killed?
I'm gonna pick the bad choice here.
In this room we process all your actions and decisions, all your movements and thoughts, and we find a conclusion. Data have tested negative, giving it a negative opinion about you. It qualifies you as a bad person. Proceed to the end of the room to leave the experiment. A pleasure to have had you as first subject.
Okay, well, I picked one thing. as the bad thing, and I didn't realize that it was going to kick me out of the game if I did that. I really hope I don't have to play the whole thing over again to get back to that point. Guess we'll see.
I hope you enjoyed the experience. Until another time.
Man, I feel like I just got voted off The Apprentice. Oh, what am I going to do? There's a room, and it says only authorized personnel, but I now know that I'm a bad person for going through that door.
You don't have permission to be here. Immediately leave.
Okay, I'm leaving. You won't let me leave. I can't even follow your directions. I guess I'll just go further in then.
Get out. Subject 1. I order you immediately.
See, that's the problem with making branching path style games like that. You have to kind of accommodate for every possible variation on what the player might do, and that becomes very annoying. Oh, okay, we've actually got like a flowchart here. Pill room, just kidding room, what would you do room, exit room. So we actually intended to prepare the trap to kill him. Are these the credits? I'm confused. Fall from fake exit. Eaten by monsters, starved to die. Brain attack, tortured by your mind, suicide. Okay.
Get out. Now.
Alright, things are starting to look a little bit more interesting at this point. We're using sound. Although the sound in this case is blaring through the speaker a little bit, or through the headphones. It's a sufficiently creepy looking door, I guess. I think it's cursing at me, but it's hard to say. I don't know what these are from, but I'm sure these models are from some other game. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I don't know that for a fact, but they look like they're from something else. Night? What? Just night? I know, you're making a very loud screeching sound. I don't really understand how that's doing that. Whatever. Let's go through this door. Well then, okay, I see where this is going. Pardon me, pardon me too, I know. Much better. Alright, now we can learn Kung Fu. This is a very, very oversized room. You can see how slowly I'm walking with reference to that car off in the distance. Very serious music all of a sudden as well. What was the point of the camera, by the way? It didn't actually serve any function throughout the whole thing. Almost there. I did try to run, by the way. There's no run. You can jump. Alright. Now, a cool trick would have been, by the time we get over to this car, we find out that the car is actually, like, the size of a micro machine. Or that it's massive. That would have probably messed me up a little bit. So I can't actually walk past the car for some reason. I'm bound to this side of it, I guess, to force me to click on it or something. I can't even walk all the way around it. Alright, we are in the car. The car has a very interesting wood interior. Click. Click on the felt button. Out, and it's apparently the end. Alright, and there's YouTube. I have no idea what just happened. I don't really feel much of any attachment to this experiment slash game slash anything. I guess I'm supposed to now go upload this video on YouTube. Hey, I guess I'll just follow directions again, as I always do. So that's been another episode of Indie Impressions. I can't say that I really recommend this game, or experiment, or whatever you want to call it, to much of a high degree. I guess it was interesting to go through, but it felt rather juvenile, and I understand the developer never qualified it as anything beyond an experiment, but I was just intrigued by what sounded to be the premise, so I guess I had slightly too high expectations, and that's really my own fault then. It's not even quite on the level of absurdity as, like, Fantastic Game, which really went all out with the crazy. This was, like, kind of trying to push the limits but couldn't really figure out a way to do it right. So I don't know anything about this game. I don't know the story of the developer. Maybe this was just a fun weekend project or something, and it happened to end up on Desera and stuff. So I'll put the links in the description, as I always do, if you want to go check it out. Like I said, you've pretty much seen what it has to offer at this point. So you may as well check out the computer in front of us here and click on some other YouTube videos or something. But that's just me. Do what you're going to do. No ill will harbored whatsoever. So, as always, remember to head on over to the website, www.indie-impressions.com. Check out all the other videos, old and new. Browse them, sort them, search them. You can catalog them all by free games, by Steam games, by Desera games. Whatever you want to do makes it easier to look through them. I figured that would be the best reason to go visit the website, aside from maybe the forums and the chance to possibly get some free games with pixels and stuff. But all the details are right there, so go check it out. And when you're done with the website, facebook.com/indieimpressions. If you'd like to leave a like on that, then you'll get every day's new video delivered right into your Facebook stream. Makes it nice and convenient, so you don't have to go looking for them. They'll come right to you. And then I do the occasional contest and news update on that as well. And it's also a good place to chat if you want to say hey. Lastly, if you're an indie dev and you want to get in contact with me about possibly showing off your game on the channel, quickest way to say hey to me is at RockLeeSmile on Twitter. I also have a contact form right on the website. And I also take PMs via Twitter, Reddit, or YouTube. So whatever you want to do is fine with me. I am always here to talk with anybody. Please do get in touch with me. And in fact, if you're someone who's been watching the videos and has always felt sort of like you're on the outs, you don't really know if you want to leave a comment or something. I mean, everybody's pretty nice here, so feel free to say hey. I do value any and all feedback quite a bit, and I read every single comment. So please do. I appreciate it a lot. So that's going to do it for another day. Make sure you come back again tomorrow for yet another, and we will keep the Indie Impressions train rolling. So have a lovely night, and I will talk to you tomorrow.